And we are live. Game 7, World Series. Dodgers versus Blue Jays. A big home run by Miguel Rojas in the top of the ninth to tie this ball game up at 4. Here's Vladdy as the Dodgers bring in Blake Snell to try to take this game to extra innings. Bottom 9, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. step into the dish. Other than Shohei Ohtani, probably one of the hottest hitters in the game at this point in time. Guerrero stands in at the dish, a right-handed hitter. Snell on the rubber, a left-handed pitcher. Here's the first pitch. Misses outside, a changeup, 84 miles an hour. Snell trying to get the first pitch strike over with an off-speed pitch to fool Guerrero. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch, and he takes low, a slider. Couple off-speed pitches early in this bat to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as he gets the count in his favor to 2-0. No outs, bottom 9, tied at 4. A big home run by Rojas to send it to the bottom of the ninth. Here's a 2-0. It misses low, a slider. A 3-0 count to Vladdy Bichette on deck. He's 1 for 3 tonight. 0 for 3. Here's the 3-0 pitch from Snell. Freeze draws one to center. Did he do it? Back at the track. Edmund, and he didn't have enough. Vladdy a green light on 3-0. Gives it a ride. Just got underneath of that one. Snell threw a fat one right on the outside third of the plate. And Guerrero gave it a ride. He stared at it for a while. But it just, at the beginning of the warning track, and Guerrero almost had a walk-off homer in the World Series to end it. 1 out, bottom 9, 0-1 count to Bichette. A 3-run home run and a walk tonight. In 3:18 this World Series, Snell on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Misses outside right there with the changeup. Evens the count at 1-1. Bichette led the league in hits this season. Here's the pitch, and he takes outside another changeup right there. It's going to be a 2-1 count to Bichette. Tied at 4, bottom 9. Here's the pitch. Swings and drives one to left. And it's going to get down for a hit. So Bichette's on with a 1-out single. Bottom 9, tied at 4. And it looks like they're going to get a pinch runner for Bichette. Falifa is going to pinch run for him. So Vladdy with a long fly out to center and for the first out of the bottom of the ninth, and then Bichette with a single, and now Barger takes a ball, 1-0 count to him. World Series, he's hitting 480 with a home run and 5 RBIs as Yamamoto is in the bullpen for the Dodgers. 1-0 count to Barger. Snell sets, delivers, and he misses with a fastball outside 97 miles an hour. 2-0 count to Addison Barger. 2 for 4 again tonight. Having a monster series, could be the MVP. Snell sets, delivers the 2-0, and he hits with the curveball on the outside corner. Great pitch from Blake Snell, put pitching backwards right there. Barger probably expecting a fastball right down the middle, and Snell paints a curveball on the outside corner on 2-0. 2-1 count. Bichette on first. Here's the pitch. And Snell gets another favorable call, this time low in the strike zone. That possibly could have missed. Now it's a 2-2 count. It evens back up. Dominguez in the Blue Jays bullpen. Snell steps back on the rubber. Takes a look at Felifa on first. Sets. The 2-2. Swings and misses. Did he get a piece of it? I think he did. He's going to foul it off his leg. Barger trying to walk it off. Oh, yeah. Fouled that one right off his shin bone, actually. He's still trying to walk it off. That ball caught him flush right on the bone. So Felifa on first, 2-2 count, 1 out, bottom 9, tied at 4. Again, the big home run by Miguel Rojas with 1 out in the top of the 9th to tie this ball game up at 4. Dodgers trying to get this to extra innings. They played 18 in game 3. Freddie Freeman with a big home run in that game. Looks like Barger's going to stay in this game. They went out and checked on him. So we got a 2-2 count, 1 out, bottom 9. Felifa on first, tied at 4. Snell sets the 2-2, and he swings and rolls one to third, but it's going to roll foul. So we'll do it again, 2-2. Barger pretty slow to get out of the box right there. That foul off his shin bone still really bothering him. Hitting .480 this series. 2 for 4 tonight. Addison Barger. Trying to be the hero in this one. Bottom 9, game 7. Tied at 4. 2-2 count. Snell sets on the rubber. Delivers. Swings and fouls one off third base side. A slider right there. He spoiled off a good pitch from Snell. Snell's got to get that pitch a little bit lower. Feel like that ball's too much in the strike zone. If he can get that ball an inch or 2 lower, he could possibly get this ground ball, a double play ball, and get himself out of this inning. Get to the top of the 10th for the Dodgers. Barger, the lefty, in open stance. Snell sets the lefty. Here's the 2-2. And he checks his swing. Didn't go. It's going to go to a full count. 3-2 pitch coming up. A lot of off-speed pitches to Barger in this at-bat. See if Snell gives him something good to hit. Felifa on first. Snell sets. Here's the pitch. And he misses on the outside corner, not by much. And that's going to walk Barger. It's going to be first and second with 1 out, bottom 9. Tough call right there. He missed it, but you want that call for a lefty because that ball is running over the outside part of the plate. Definitely think that was a strike, but it ended up being a ball, but I think it crossed the plate as a strike just because of the movement on Blake Snell's pitch. So Dave Roberts coming out. He's going to be making the pitching change to Yamamoto. Alejandro Kirk coming up with 1 out. Runners on first and second. Again, this game tied at 4 after the big home run by Miguel Rojas in the top of the 9th. Kirk trying to be the hero. So we got Yamamoto, Alejandro Kirk. Again, bottom 9, 1 out, tied at 4. Runners on first and second. Yamamoto sets. First pitch to Kirk. Hits with a strike, a splitter. 93 miles an hour. Starts him off 0-1. Bo Bichette singled. He was pinch ran for Felifa. Barger walked. First and second. Here's the 0-1 from Yamamoto. And it hits Kirk right on the hands. It's going to load him up. 1 out in the ninth. Like a two-seamer running in on the hands right there. Felifa on third, Barger on second, Kirk on first. Bottom 9, 1 out, tied at 4. Yamamoto with the hit by pitch on Kirk. The two-seamer running in, hit him right on the forearm. So the Dodgers will be playing in. Really, the first, if it's a ground ball to third, short, second, or first, that ball's got to come to home and then back to first. A long fly ball deep to the any part of the outfield is going to win this game. So really, if there's a ground ball in the infield, the first play is coming back home. But how I would play this is I play my infield or outfield in, just to take away the sac fly. Or like a short blooper, something like that. All right, Dodgers are actually bringing Tommy Edman out of this game and actually replacing Andy Podges. So Edman's out of center. Podges replaced for him. Varsho's coming up the lefty. Varsho stands in. Yamamoto steps on the rubber. Bottom 9, 1 out. Tied at 4. Game 7 World Series. Blue Jays trying to win it for Canada. Varsho 0 for 4 tonight. Here's the first pitch. Misses outside with the splitter. It's going to be a 1-0 count. Here's the 1-0 to Varsho. Swings, drills one first base side, but foul. Oof. They were going to win it on that one. I think Freeman's playing too far back. He needs to play in more. He's playing behind the runner. 1-1 count to Varsho. Yamamoto sets, delivers, and he hits outside corner. A favorable call right there. That ball was out of the strike zone, but he got the call. So 1-2 count. Clement on deck. He's 3 for 4 tonight. One-two pitch. Swings, drives one to second. That ball's got to come home, and they got him at home. Wow, Muncy bobbled it, was able to regain it, and throw it home for out number 2. Wow. I'm not sure if Felifa hesitated right there. Nah, he's moving on contact. Just a good play by Rojas, actually, not Muncy. But Rojas bobbled it. Ooh, did Will Smith have his foot on the bag? Did he have his foot on the bag? Oh, no. The Blue Jays could win it on a review. This could be the first time we ever see a World Series won on a review. They got to actually go back and check. So Smith's foot is not on home plate. He does actually at the last moment tap it on the plate, but that foot could have came in. Ooh, this is close. They might spend a while on this one. So he's on home plate. His foot comes off to catch the ball. Felifa slides. It's basically about the same time they get their foot on there. They called him out, though. It looks like it is an out. I went back and looked at it. It's going to be 2 outs, bottom 9. Wow. Lucky break right there for the Dodgers. So Barger on third, tied at 4. Clement 3 for 4 tonight. Yamamoto sets. Here's the pitch. Clement swings and pops one to left. Kiki Hernandez going back at the track. They run into each other, but they still make the catch. Pod just comes down with it. Hernandez down on the track, but he gets up. Wow. Clement gave one a ride right there, but Pod just comes down with it as him and Hernandez collide. And we're going to extra innings, the top of the 10th, tied at 4. How about Miguel Rojas? Saves them defensively and offensively. And then the great catch by Podges to end that inning. How many chances did the Blue Jays have? Guerrero gave one a ride to the track. Clement gave one a ride. They had bases loaded. A play at the plate. So many chances. Couldn't capitalize. Now here's Freeman in the top of the 10th. Fouls one off down the third baseline. 0-1 count. Dominguez, the flamethrower. There was 100 miles an hour. Freeman 1 for 4. A single in the 7th. Dominguez sets. Working out of the stretch. Delivers. Misses. Splitter outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Dominguez 2-0 record. 10 in the third innings pitched. 4 earned runs. 10 strikeouts. 9 walks this postseason. Here's the 1-1 to Freeman. Swing and a drive to left center. This one's back at the track. Straws under it, and he has his hand against the wall and makes the catch. So Freeman gives him one a ride in the top of the 10th. But 1 out for the Blue Jays. You can tell there's a lot of tired arms tonight. These guys are putting good swings on the bat. Just not enough juice or power on it to get it out. Here's Betts now 0 for 3 tonight with a walk. And he takes a ball outside. 97 miles an hour from Dominguez. Fastball and a slider. Mookie the hero in Game 6. And he fouls one off down the first base line. Evens the count at 1-1. Betts stands in, the right-handed hitter. Dominguez sets, the righty. Delivers. And he misses with looks like a slider right there. Actually hung that pitch, but it was out of the strike zone. The ball comes down a little bit. It's a cement mixer. Betts will deposit that one in the left. 2-1 count. Misses upstairs with the fastball right there. So a 3-1 count to Betts. Dodgers trying to get a base runner. Again, tied at 4. 1 out, top 10. Dominguez sets. Here, 3-1. Misses. Inside, fastball. Right around that same spot where he hung that slider. Trying to tie Mookie up on the hands, but misses right there. So the Dodgers get a base runner. Betts is on with 1 out in the top of the 10th, Game 7. Last repeat World Series champion was the Yankees. Before that, it was the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch to Muncy is swung on and missed, a splitter. Muncy 2 for 3 tonight, a walk, a single, and a homer in the eighth. Actually made this game 4-3. And then Rojas with the big homer for the Dodgers in the ninth. Betts takes his lead. The 0-1 pitch, fastball misses down low, evens the count at 1-1. Betts not much of a threat to steal at first. Muncy, the lefty. Here's the 1-1. And Dominguez misses a fastball, makes it a 2-1 count. Dominguez hasn't really been on with the off-speed pitches. This time out, the fastball looks good. And he steps off the rubber, takes a look at Betts at first. Muncy stands in at the dish. 11 pitches for Dominguez. He sets, delivers the 2-1. Muncy fouls it off. 98-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Evens the count at 2-2. It's a good count to hit and run on. Just get a guy moving. Here's the 2-2. Muncy swings, drives one back up the middle, and it's going to be a knock. Betts is going to hold at second. Man, Betts was running right there on that pitch. That's why I like to run on 2-2 counts with one out. Just going to get a good pitch to hit. Dominguez right back up the middle, almost hits Dominguez right in the chest. So first and second for the Dodgers. Here's Tosque Hernandez. First pitch to him, and he takes a slider, misses again. Hanging that slider. He's got to be careful to Tosque. He doesn't want to throw an 86-mile-an-hour cement mixer upstairs like that. Hernandez is going to jump all over it. Got to stick with the fastball if it's not working. And that time, does a better job of getting it on the outside corner, but not a lot of movement on that pitch. Evens the count at 1-1. Betts on second. Muncy on first. A walk and a single. One out, top 10. Here's the pitch. Tosque swings and misses at a slider. That's his best one this outing. That one started off on the middle of the plate and then ended out of the strike zone. A lot of movement on that pitch. So he made the adjustment. Probably see that same pitch, but a little bit lower right here, I'm assuming. Here's the 1-2. Yeah, same pitch, slider, but this time in the dirt. Now you want to go back to that fastball upstairs and the inside right here. You want to try to tie him up on the hands. I go 98 back in on the hands right here. He was throwing 2 on the outside corner. So 2-2 on the hands, but he threw the slider right there. So it was 86, and Hernandez was late on that. I think that was the bad pitch right there. I wouldn't go back to that spot. If you're going to try to finish him, go back to the outside with that same pitch. A couple pitches ago. 2-2 pitch to Hernandez. Tries to freeze him with the fastball. Doesn't get the call. Good frame job by the catcher. He caught it off the plate and then brought it back on the plate pretty quick. It's a good take by Tosque. That ball's off the strike zone, out of the strike zone. So 3-2 count, misses. Again, same pitch. Great at bat by Tosque, and he walks. So bases juiced now for the Dodgers. One out, top 10. Here's Podges, a defensive replacement in the ninth inning Proved to be a good decision by Dave Roberts as he made a fantastic catch to end that inning. Andy Podges, meeting on the mound for the Blue Jays, talking about this at bat. And Podges went about at least 60 yards to catch this ball. Just the range. And he's been sitting on the bench this whole game. Then he runs into Kike Hernandez on top of that. I don't blame him. It's game 7. They both want to catch that ball. Nobody wants to drop it. Here's Podges. First pitch to him. Swings and misses at a slider. Good pitch from Dominguez right there. 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position this postseason for Podges. So he's due. Hitting 67 in the World Series. Here's the 0-1. And he misses with a slider upstairs. So 1-1 count. Betts on third. Muncy on second. Hernandez on first. Ducks on the pond for the Dodgers. Here's the 1-1. Misses downstairs with a sinker right there. Ball is off the plate. Not by much, but it's a good call. So we got a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Podges swings, bounces one right back up the middle. They go to home. They're going to get the out. It's going to be 2 outs. Dodgers are still going to have the bases loaded. A fielder's choice right there as Jimenez goes to Kirk at home. They get Betts at the plate. Podges on with the fielder's choice. Here's Kike Hernandez trying to be the hero for the Dodgers, give them the lead in Game 7. First pitch to him, misses outside with a fastball, 98 miles an hour. Dominguez into trouble this inning, already 25 pitches. He's been missing with his off-speed pitches. Doesn't want to hang one to Kike. Here's the 1-0. Kike swings and misses. Out a slider right there. Evens the count at 1-1. Looks like Yamamoto's coming out for the bottom of the 10th. This game's tied at 4. Rojas with the home run to tie this thing up in the bottom of the 9th. Dominguez sets, delivers. Kike checks, swing to first. Dominguez has to get over, steps on the first, and he gets the out just in time. His foot steps on the bag before Hernandez runs down the line, and the top of the 10th is going to end, but both teams have had chances, not able to capitalize on base runners. We go to the bottom of the 10th, another chance for the Blue Jays. So it looks like Yamamoto is going to be coming out for the bottom of the 10th. Saw him warming up in the Dodgers dugout just... And that was your Game 6 starter. And I was thinking, if the Dodgers end up winning this series, do you give Yamamoto the MVP of the series? And I know you got to think of Ohtani first, but just what Yamamoto has done. I mean, every time he's went out there, he shut the door for the Dodgers. So you got to consider it. Again, tied at 4. Bottom 10, Yamamoto out of the windup. First pitch is a cutter. Hits the outside corner. 0-1 count to Jimenez. Hitting 9th in the order. 1 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A splitter. An 0-2 count. Jimenez 1 for 3. Hit by pitch. A double and an RBI tonight. Yamamoto working fast. Out of the windup. Here's the pitch. Swings and grounds one to second. Rojas has it. Underhands it to Freeman for out number one. Yamamoto with a quick out in the bottom of the 10th. Game 2, 9 innings pitched, 105 pitches. Game 6, 96 pitches. And now tonight, 1 inning pitched, 10 pitches. So, incredible. Not a Madison Bumgarner performance, but still, Yamamoto. Ooh, and he almost hits Springer right there on a splitter. They're going to take a look at it. Springer 3 for 5 tonight, 3 singles and a run scored. We're going to check and see if it hit his jersey. And it didn't. So 1-0 pitch to Springer. And Yamamoto dirts a splitter right there. So a 2-0 count to Springer, known for hitting big home runs in these type of moments. Most home runs in the postseason. He's tied for third all-time, 23. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Springer, and Yamamoto misses on a curveball. So a 3-0 count. Dodgers, Blue Jays, Game 7. Series tied at 3. Tied at 4. Bottom 10. 3-0 count to Springer. Here's the pitch. And he takes a cutter right there. So a 3-1 count. Yamamoto's got to pitch backwards. He can't give him anything good to hit. That was going to be a take all the way from Springer. So this pitch has got to be huge. Here's the 3-1. And a great pitch ties him up in on the hands. A splitter right there. Kind of backdoored him a little bit. And Springer wasn't expecting it. Take strike 2, so full count. Yamamoto working fast out of the windup. Here's the 3-2. Springer fouls one off his ankle and he goes down in pain. Going to walk it off. They'll do it again. 3-2 count. Look like another backdoor splitter right there. 3-2 count. Yamamoto's pitch. Swing and a miss. A splitter gets Springer swinging right there to swing out of the strike zone. Great pitch from Yamamoto. Man, the movement on that. It looks like it's going to hit the bottom strike zone. Then right at the last second, it falls off a table. So bottom 10, 2 outs, tied at 4, and Straw pops one. First base side, no play for Will Smith, the catcher. Goes out of play into the crowd. Yeah, I mean, if Yamamoto continues to throw and, let's say he goes 4 or 5 innings in extra innings, the Dodgers win, you got to really seriously consider him for MVP. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Miles Straw. This guy's not going to beat you deep. So I think he can challenge him, definitely with fastballs. Straw 0 for 8 this World Series. You got 2 outs, bottom 10, tied at 4. Here's the 1-1. Straw swings, pops one to right. Hernandez under it for out number 3. And we go to the top of the 11th. The Dodgers with another chance trying to put runs on the board. Rojas coming up, the hero, to tie this ball game up. Also big defensive plays from him. Now the Dodgers trying to put more runs on the board. Down. So a quick 2 outs in the top of the 11th for the Dodgers. I mean, usually I'm pretty good at timing when to come back, but Dodgers were first pitch swinging, I guess. Ohtani breaks his bat right there, grounds out to second. Bieber now on the mound for the Blue Jays. Is this Justin Bieber on the mound? Wow. Bieber trying to finish it. The 1-0 to Will Smith. Misses. Outside off-speed pitch. It's a 2-0 count. Top 11, 2 outs, tied at 4. Bieber, 5 pitches. Here's the 2-0 to Will Smith. He draws one to the left. Going back at the tracks. Draws under it. No way, no chance. Dodgers take the lead. Santa Maria, 5-4, top 11. Big home run, Will Smith. A solo job to the left as he rounds third and gives the Dodgers the lead in the top of the 11th. A big swing of the bat right there from Will Smith. 366 feet to left field. Greeted by the Dodgers at the top step of the dugout. Dodgers trying to repeat and go back to back. There's Freeman now, the hero of Game 3. He takes a ball inside. Bieber got a quick 2 outs, but then served one up, a 2-0 pitch to Will Smith. Freeman takes a ball in the dirt. It's a 2-0 count to him. Wow. Game 7. Will Smith, the hero. Here's Bieber now working out of the windup. The 2-0 to Freeman. Hits with a knuckle curve right there on the outside corner. A 2-1 count to Freddie Freeman, the lefty. Now Bieber misses inside with a 4-seam fastball, so a 3-1 count now to Freddie Freeman. Dodgers trying to get some Geico here in the top of the 11th, only up 1. And ring him up, strike 3. Or no, strike 2 actually. Freeman thought he had a walk right there. So we got a full count. Here's Bieber, the pitch. Freeman swings and lines one down the first base line, but foul. He knew that was gone as soon as Will Smith hit it. Fastball right down the middle. Full count. Freeman swings and hits one right back up the middle, but they got him played perfectly to Guerrero at first. But Will Smith with the huge home run in Game 7 and give the Dodgers the lead. The Blue Jays now to their last chance in the bottom of the 11th. The Dodgers trying to repeat. And he takes outside a splitter right there. So a 2-0 count to Vladdy. Yamamoto working out of the windup gets a cutter. Ooh, it's a bad take from Vladdy right there. I'm not sure what he's looking for, but Yamamoto sneaks a cutter right down the middle. A fastball, a strike. So a 2-1 count to Vladdy. Here's the pitch. Ooh, another fastball, a 4-seamer. This time it hits the inside corner, evens the count at 2-2. So a couple great pitches from Yamamoto. Bounces back from 2-0. 2-2 count. Backdoor splitter right there. Misses inside. So a full count to Guerrero. Trying to get a base runner on for the Blue Jays, who now trail 5-4. Felifa on deck. He pinch ran for Bichette. Here's the 3-2. Guerrero swings and drives one to the left. It's going to be down for extra bases. Guerrero rounds first. It's going to be a stand-up double. And now the Blue Jays have a base runner on second with nobody out in the bottom of the 11th. Wow. What a clutch AB right there from Guerrero. Trying to tie him up on the hands right there. Actually doesn't get barrel, but just has good strength right there to get it down the line, keeps it fair. Now Felifa with Guerrero on second, nobody out, 5-4 Dodgers, bottom 11. Felifa squares to bunt, gets it down. Yamamoto fields it, throws to Set throws to first for out number 1. So Guerrero's on third, 1 out, bottom 11. One of the Blue Jays' hottest hitters right now is Barger. He's hitting 480 this postseason. Kershaw now up in the Dodgers bullpen. I think right here for the Dodgers, you play in and you want to throw sliders on the outside part of the plate to Barger. You want to throw anything on that inner half or low to him. It's everything's got to be on the outside corner. You're trying to get him to roll over. Really try to slow him down, and possibly you got to hold the runner at third though. So here's Barger, 2 for 4 tonight. Here's the first pitch from Yamamoto. It misses a splitter on the outside corner. So they're going to live right there. And it didn't miss by much. So you got a 1-0 count to Barger. Guerrero on third. Blue Jays down 5-4. Yamamoto sets, delivers, misses. Outside a splitter. That time he just overthrew a little bit. Needs to adjust his arm angle. Two-0 count to Addison Barger. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs with the splitter. So I think the idea was not to give him anything good to hit. Walk him, get to Kirk, the double play candidate. 3-0 pitch to Barger. And he misses in the dirt, a splitter. So basically an intentional walk right there to Barger. Nothing around the strike zone. They tried to get that first pitch strike. Tried to see if they can get him to chase on another outside pitch. And Barger just wasn't having it. He's having great at B's this postseason. So Barger on first, Guerrero on third, 1 out, bottom 11, Dodgers up 5-4 off the big home run from Will Smith in the top of the 11th. Now Kirk 2 for 4 tonight, 2 singles and then hit by pitch. Hitting 320 this World Series, but he is a double play candidate. Yamamoto sets out of the stretch, first pitch to Kirk, he swings and hits one right off the top of the knob. Fouls it off first base side, so Yamamoto gets the first pitch strike. 32 pitches and extra innings for Yamamoto, the Game 6 starter. Here's the 0-1 Alejandro Kirk. Freezes him right there on a curveball. Wasn't expecting that pitch. Got him to buckle a little bit too. 0-2 count to Alejandro Kirk. Pitching for the strikeout, Yamamoto. Swings and grounds one right to Betts. He's going to take it himself and throw to first to Freeman for the double play. And the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. They repeat and go back to back. Unbelievable. Kirk grounds into the double play with Guerrero on third and Barger on first. They had him played perfectly. Right in double play depth. That's exactly how you want to play it. You want to walk Barger, who's the hottest hitter in baseball, or hottest hitter on the Blue Jays at this moment. And yeah, they got it. They played it perfectly. And they're dogpiling right on the mound in Toronto. USA! USA! My buddy Daniel Barry is going to be so excited right now. Guys, go check out Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. He does highlights on the MLB, NBA, NFL daily. Also a huge Dodgers fan, so I'd appreciate it if you can go over there and congratulate him But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. The Dodgers are going to repeat and are 2025 World Series champions.